In correlational studies, we looked at aggregated population-level data. In cross-sectional surveys, we aim to find out the prevalence of a certain exposure or disease. A cross-sectional survey provides a snapshot of the health status of a population at one point in time. It is sometimes called a prevalence study and is a very popular study approach in the health sciences because it allows for the relatively rapid collection of new data. The primary study question is, what is the prevalence of the exposure and/or disease in the population? For example, we may want to know what is the prevalence of Alzheimer's disease in Japan in 2016. This approach is used when the disease or exposure itself is already well defined. Sometimes researchers just want a snapshot of what is going on in a certain population and don't have much time or other resources or the need to conduct a more involved study. Or perhaps a basic population level description of the disease or exposure is needed because we currently don't know how prevalent it is in a certain population. This approach is used to describe communities, assess population needs, evaluate programs, or often establish baseline data prior to the initiation of longitudinal studies. To use this approach, a few hundred people are needed to participate, so you will need to set up a well-oiled machine to recruit and assess. The most important thing about recruiting for a prevalence study is that participants must be reasonably representative of the target population. You cannot simply do convenience sampling. You must be careful that your sample is not only diverse, but diverse in a way that matches the makeup of the population you want to study. To better understand how cross-sectional surveys or prevalence studies work, you will read an article by Paszewska and colleagues published in 2014. The assessment will probe your understanding of this study's methods and findings.